I don't know about you, but sometimes when you do a diorama or any other model kit, especially a big one, you get a bit down in the dumps, you get a bit bored, the fatigue starts to settle in. Every minute of modelling becomes an hour, every hour becomes a week, and it feels like it's dragging on and on and on. That's what it was like, and I needed a change on the German diorama I was doing with the two tanks. I was repainting one, painting 6 figures, and painting another tank and doing a base. Got the base done, pretty chuffed with that with the static grass. Got the old Marder one that I mucked up, repainted, done battle damage to it. The other one is half painted. Then I started doing the figures, and that's where the fatigue started to set in. Trying to do 6 figures that I'm not a figure painter. I was getting frustrated. The faces were really the problem, especially at 1/35 scale. I done a lot of glazing. To be honest, when I took pictures of them and you zoomed them in, and it looked like I just went like that. They were like finger painting. They looked shocking. So what I done is I stripped the heads back and redone them again as best I can. They came out a slightly better. Great? Nah. But I managed to get the clothes at a certain angle, the size of the moulding that was on it. It's not the greatest moulding, especially the mini art one. I thought that was an old kit. The German officers at rest, I thought their faces, the seam line went like that all the way in. Their mouldings were a bit like that. Not the best quality, I would say. The Tamiya ones were far better detail, but I stuck with it, got them done. I was 3 down with 2 to go because I already had the other 2 Tamiya ones done, and that's when I got bored. I had the cold for last time. I never done much modelling at all. So what I done is I went to Wonderland Models to get supplies, and I got myself the ICM kit, the King of the Night one, 1/16 figure. It's basically Game of Thrones, but licensing and all that, they had to change it because the actual face doesn't look anything like the picture. Does it make it a bad model? No. Did I enjoy it? Yes, because I learned new techniques. I done something different. My wife's a big, huge Game of Thrones fan, and she was actually picked it up and went, "Oh!" So it was something. How did it turn out? I think it turned out absolutely superb for me, personally, doing something completely out of my comfort zone. Do I want to do another one? Yes. Maybe something different. I'm always learning. I'm always wanting to do different things. That has given me an insight into do things. I made my own base. I've got an idea for somebody done it with styrofoam, but I actually got stones in my garden. I will show you when we go to the bench and the figures that I've painted. It's probably, I've had great reviews and comments on Facebook and Instagram, so everybody who's commented on the figure and said how good it was, I thank you all. It takes a lot of guts to post something like that you're out your comfort zone on Facebook and social media and all that. I've also want to thank my subscribers. I think I'm at 191. I will love to get to 200. I thank every single one. That means you there. Yeah, you there, right there. I can see you. Thank you very much for subscribing to my channel. It's overwhelming. I ken it's only about 181 subscribers compared to other folk, but to me, it's a big deal. It's a big, huge, major up on my modelling, and I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it more than ever doing modelling. I seem to be went up a step in terms of quality. Maybe I'm hard on myself. Probably I'm very much far too hard on myself. I expect me to do top level quality modelling, but maybe my skill level's about here and I'm trying to aim for there. Is it a bad thing? No, it's not. You should try and aim for it. Does it make you... I haven't got an ego for it. I'm not going to say I'm an expert in everything, but if I see something, I'll give it a go. It might not look that great, but I'll give it a go. I always want to try different things. The figure painting is definitely one I have admired people who do figure paintings. There's some work out there are absolutely stunning. You've got your Games Workshop people who do absolutely stunning work, especially if they've got 50, I don't know what they're called, so just see soldiers or Imperial soldiers or the wee figures. They have to do 50 of them, all the same, maybe different shades. That's die-hard material, that is sticking. But some of the work I've seen with big wings, dragons and all that, it's absolutely wonderful how people can do that. And I'm not getting to the folk who build planes and all that. People who have built planes are as good as people who do figure painters. I started off in modelling doing planes, but at the moment my mojo for planes and doing planes is nothing. I do not. Then I've tried it with the Spitfire for the plastic posse. I cannot do it. I get bored like within 5 minutes. Bang, it's gone. I do like armour. I do like doing dioramas. It's interesting. The figures, yes. So it might be a combination, maybe an easy figure with a diorama. I have got diorama ideas in there. I have got dioramas in there that I want to do, but it's trying to make them and trying to get the experience to do it. I have a theory, or should I say I have a motto, is just go for it. Just do it. Doesn't matter if it looks rubbish. You've tried. As long as you tried your best, that's the main thing. Give something a go. When, as I say, back to where I was doing planes, I've got tons of planes in the stash. Some of them might not get built. Some of them might. I've still got the A10. I do want to get the A10 done because it is a cracking plane. But I've got bike kits and car kits here. I was mad into Tamiya bike kits. I still love them. My Ducati is probably my best work ever. I've got 2 bikes here, they're sitting there half done, and I don't think they'll ever get done. I've just got the enthusiasm to pick the kit up again. I've got a Mitsubishi Lancia there, decal, waiting for 2K. I have the 2K. Do I want to do it? No. It's just, that's the way the modelling circle goes. There's a yin and a yang. There's always a wee bit of black in the white and white, but this is like there's always a wee bit of I want to do it in this one, and it's weird how to express it. We all must get like this. I can't believe there's actually modelers who just go, no, I just will do planes, that's it, I'm not interested, I'll just do planes to my heart's content. Really? You must get a bit fatigued. Maybe if there's planes that are out there, weird planes, and it'll give you something different. But I didn't want to stick to one style. I want to try and do everything. I didn't know how to do dioramas, but I had 2 people, Jane Skiffins and Carol from Making Models. They done dioramas and they give the inspiration to go and do it. And their attitude was just go and do it. Just try it. Other people, planes as well. I know one of my influences was Gary Bottoms up in St Andrews area. Watching his videos in a fix, making models again. Gary, you need to get back. I know your mojo's low, but please try and get back to videos. Even Ivan Jensen Taylor, his stuff, his ICM stuff that he built, the wee cars and all that, it gives you so much inspiration to do something different. So, if you're out there and one of my subscribers, try something out your comfort zone. Go for it. Even if it's just a wee pet project, you don't have to share it on Facebook or media. Do something different. Try something different. I did with this Game of Thrones character, and I thought I'd done it within a week and a half, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. It's a simple kit. The only thing I was worried about was the old face, but I went on YouTube, watched a load of videos. One, glazing. That's the biggest game changer. What I noticed in my figure painting was using glazes and very thin coats to build up. Unfortunately, on that one, I will tell you my horror story, but it did come back and I fixed it. So We'll get to the bench. That's me rambling on enough. I could ramble for ages now on this. Let's go to the bench and I'll see my work and we'll get over and done with, because I want to try and keep this a short video, because I'm usually about 20 odd minutes long. So let's go to the bench and let's see what happens. Right, back at the bench after my rambling on all the rubbish about this and that, and see my lovely face. Definitely a face for radio. Yeah, this is what I got. I got the ICM 116 Night of the King, or King of the Night, or the Night King. Basically, the Ice Warrior, or from Game of Thrones. But obviously, due to licensing deal, they can't call it that. And as you can see, there's a slight difference between that and the face and everything like that. It doesn't look it. But it was, what, £24 from Wonderland Models. And I thought, I'll give it a shot. So, we'll get right into it. The kit comprised of two sprues. You had the main one, which had all the body parts. These were one piece. Head came in 3 pieces. That was one piece, that fits on the top of there. This body part fits on the top of there, and the legs is 2 pieces. So 1, 2, 3. The skirt or the kilt, I would call it a kilt since it's got Scotland. It looks like a samurai era, but the problem is, this comes off. I've kept this off because I didn't glue that, so I'll take it off. It makes it easier. As you see, I'll draw it in and we'll see. You can see where the join with the legs are. They come together, that's no problem. The skirt wraps around. There's 2 parts of the skirt. That's a 3rd part there. You'll see the join. The join is right there. And there. If I try and zoom in, it's because it's dark. I'll try and put it in. There we go. There we go. Right there is the join. See that dark line? These 2 halves do not fit the body. So, if you're ever building this kit, what you need to do is, you need to, this is going to sound really bad. I took the grinder, it's my wee electric one that I have, and you have to shave down his bum. You have to shave down his bum, and you have to shave down the front of his legs and that area to make them fit. It's about a 1 millimetre gap to get them all, to get that's there and there, to get them close. What I done is, I got super glued at first, then I used the, is it the Mr. Cement S to seal it all, and pushed it in and made, basically the Mr. Cement melts the plastic, and I eventually got, then what I done is I got sprue glue and filled it gently. Each one of them I rescribed to try and get as best I can, sand it smooth and rescribe. There's some bits I had to try and conform with this bit to make it look a bit rough and ready. So it came, time you put Mr. Surfacer in it, it came out not bad. The other side came out not bad either. It is a bit, I've went a wee, you can see a wee bit there. It's this is the glue. Put my teeth back in. The glue shrunk a wee bit and it's left a wee bit gap there. But once I got described it and all that, this plate just fits in with 2, just fits in flush there. That's it. Because I think there's a hole there and a hole there, and the 2 lock in. That's it. Again, the seam line for this was terrible. It's a good cheap kit and easy to do, but the seam line went right down there and right down there. You can just see a wee bit there, and it came down. I say, trying to get that, scrape away that seam line and keep the detail was pretty hard. So you just got to take a wee soft sander and just take your time at the moment. On the picture, if I move the camera, And what I'll do is I'll zoom in. The other way, Mark. There. It is actually worn a bit. It's actually faded a wee bit. So you can't, even though the seam line goes down there, you can keep it the same as that. Again, same with there. There's a line here. It's just the way it is. You can't. I say that's the most annoying part. There you go. There it is. There. That's the most annoying part. Is this seam? It's very badly moulded because of this bit here. Actually, this bit here. Actually, I had to prise open with hot water just to get to fit. But a wee bit of manipulation, a wee bit gluing, it can be done. Just keep shaving it away and shaving it away. The base, you get the base with it, which is just this bit here. This bit you don't get. I thought it looked awfully plain and boring. So this is slate from a garden. And my raised beds and all that. I've got this grey slate. So I got a couple of bits of slate and built them up. I thought it would be better standing on like a rock or a mountain. It just makes it different. I super glued it and used PVA. Unfortunately, the PVA came out there a wee bit. Used Mr. Surfer 500 to stipple it. You can see where the PVA glue there is. There's one that wedge up to try and balance it and all that. In that leg, I drilled a hole right through the stone and got a toothpick and drilled it right into his leg, so it would slot in. And I super glued once I'd done the painting, I super glued him with PVA glue as well, so he sticks. So if he does get toppled over, it'll fall, but that'll not fall and it'll not fall off. So there's the leg done. I painted it, primed it in grey, then I got NATO black. I'll just get the camera for it. NATO black for you, because I did it black was too black. I don't like using black for anything, but I got NATO black because it's got that bluey hue to it. Then what I done is I did get flat black and went around, see there, went round to give a wee bit definition. But then I also used Vallejo black and I used the black glaze to go underneath each line. So it makes the, sorry my hands away, it makes the slats pop out a bit. So they're meant to be, if I go back, they're meant to be like that, plated. So it gives you like a plated effect. So it enhances it a wee bit. Then I got flat blue and I dry brushed it, and also I got medium grey to dry brush it. A lot of dry brushing in this. I think that's the key for this, is dry brushing. And also with the grey is going along each edge, along the edge here, just to enhance it. Along the edge here, same with the boots, enhances the boots with the grey. That I done medium grey, different. I had 3 greys. I had medium grey, sea grey, and dark grey. Dark grey underneath, sea grey on the top, light grey on the top. And what I done is I got white, masked that off, sprayed on that, and what I done is I made the white thick and put the pressure low to give a spurting effect, so it looks like there's snow on it. You can just see its foot. I'll bring it in here, so it looks like it's snow, it's falling. Then I done a semi-gloss because I thought, well, it's going to be frosty, it's going to be slightly icy, so it's going to have that glistening effect. So that's how I done the base. And his legs, his top part, I'll bring it in a wee bit so we can get all, there we go. Sword, painted white, then I got clear blue, very thinned, and sprayed the clear blue. Then I got white again, and I dry brushed it the white so it gives it the icy effect. It came out pretty good. This was khaki with black glaze over it. Kept painting it thin black glaze. and that's what the sword was done. The sword is just super glued by his finger. It does slot in, and I just super glued right in his finger. The armour was done the same way as the kilt. I used gunmetal polishing, what's it called? Pigments. The metal pigment to buff that up. I used blue, I used greys, I used multiple colours on the dry brush. You can see the blue, the bits was native black brushed in. Then I used the glaze underneath, all around about it there. You see it there, highlighted it. Same with these bits, I used the greys to highlight all the ribbon. Same with these bits, light grey down the sides to make his armour pop a bit, cufflinks on it. The flesh, that was the hardest part of the flesh. There was a old Spencer Pollard video he done, and he done a wash. It was like a fail-safe wash, and what you used is 50% use water, Future at 50-50. That's Future, yes, the stuff that people use for gloss, and use a cotton bud. You dip it in the paint, take it out, put it in the water in the Future, spin it around to the consistency you want. If you want it lighter, you put a wee bit in. If you want a really dark wash, put in. Then you take your brush and you start brushing it over. It's great for aircraft because I've heard it before on either the Model Geeks, or I definitely was the Model Geeks, because they do a lot of aircraft, and what happens is the water dries and it lies in all the crevices like actual wash, but there's no cleanup. There's very little, because as soon as the water evaporates, the Future makes the paint stick to all the wee crevices, it is a very cheap wash to do and easy to do. I done the same with Flat Blue. If you go on my Instagram, Ewing1974, or if you're any on the Facebook groups that I'm on and you've seen it, you'll see a before and after pic. Somebody from the Scale Modders Critique pointed it out, said great, but he thought the flesh and face was too blue. So I can't remember your name, but I thank you anyway, and it was criticism that was well needed, because it really bugged me all that night. So I got up today, of all days, and what I've done is I've done a grey wash and I went over the face, and I think it really has made a difference. You can, the guy on the Scale Modders Critique said it was too blue, it wasn't making his eyes pop. I greyed it down, and as you can see, it has made his eyes pop. There you go. There you go. It's hard on the camera to see what it's like, but it definitely has made a difference. Because what I've done is the original blue, I just went with the paintbrush and done that, kept on going at thin coats until the blue filled all the crevices. So what I've done is I went back with the greys and done the exact same. Done it a bit of time until I got to the point where I thought, that's it, don't go any further, you'll ruin it. I highlighted all his horns with aged white Vallejo. Then I went with the black glaze, very small brush, and done his eyes, underneath his eyes and the top, and his lips, just like what's on the picture. The eyes I painted, I got my magnifiers out, or my optics, so I put like magnifying glasses. I painted them white. Then I got myself a broken 0.3 drill bit, dipped it in black and done his pupil without my optivisor on. That must have been the most challenging part of this kit, trying to keep a steady hand. You can hardly see the pupil. It'll probably be focusing. Will it focus on the eye? It probably is too far. But someone said do not put him dead centre, put him slightly off, so I did. He's pointing in this direction to his, that'll be to his left, because nobody stares straight in, it just looks weird. Just like on the mag or the bit of paper, he's pointing slightly to the exact same. You can see the difference in the face, it's not exactly the same, but I wanted the eyes pointing a different direction because somebody said if you point in a different direction it looks a bit better. Then I got clear blue, thinned down, and covered his eyes with thin blue with a tiny brush, small droplets at a time, until I built up to got to the point where, yep, that's it. The problem with figure painting, to me is, I don't know if anybody else has this, is it's the point where you have to stop. You get to a point where that's it, and then you look back and go, oh, I'll do another bit, I'll do another bit, and that's how I think you ruin it. This, I had to restrain myself big time. I had to stop and say, right, that's enough. So everything's just super glued in place. As you see, the blue's on there, I put the grey. Only thing I done was a wee bit of black glaze on his lips, his nostrils under there, the ridges in his nose, and that's it. So this is now, I'll zoom back out. So as my wife's a big Game of Thrones fan, she's actually thoroughly in, loves it. So if that makes her impressed, I must be doing something right. Not like a wife ever say, oh, your model looks lovely. Quote me on that in the comments if that's true. So actually, would I recommend this for a beginner? Yes, I would. Give it a go. It's something different. It's an easy kit. There's a little bit of clean up and basic modelling to do. Clean up the joints and everything like that. But for £24, you can't go wrong. It looks stunning. I'm impressed. I love it. It's probably, I would say, my best work at the moment. From start to finish, I never went, oh God, this kit's driving me nuts. I can't go on. No. I was enthused. The word I'm looking at is, it made me enthused. The enthusiasm got it made me pick up my mojo for doing more and carrying on and get other things done. So this is now the final reveal of the ICM 1/16 King of the Night figure. And we'll have a look at the other things. Right, we are back with the second part and final part of this video. And all here is you cheering. Thank God, he's talking drivel. Right, the diorama that I left. Yes, I was getting a bit run down. As you can see, nothing's much happened except for I've done the damage and I've put a wee bit of silver on it. That'll get toned down with weathering and all that. It looks exaggerated, but I'll tone it down with a bit of stuff, weathering. I've done the track. I wrote the track. I actually get it off. So I'll have that lying like that. But what I need to do is get this in the position so I can put the track underneath and just super glue it. Even just keep it like that, like it's fell off. But I'm going to need to do some weathering on the teeth. This is still in 2/2. I've done nothing to it apart from paint that bit. That's all separate. I've painted this, painted that. That needs to get glued up once I do the tracks. The tracks are in the box here. The figures. I'll show you this one. I'll be doing it. This is from the Sherman tank. I'm going to repaint him a wee bit better. Let's see if he comes in focus. I put a wee bit of glaze on him to try and do the shadows underneath and all that. It came out better than what I thought. The face is definitely improved. It's more smoother now. He actually looks like a figure rather than just a mishmashy colours. Here's the guys that I got. I'll show you you've probably seen these before, but I'll show them again. These are the Tamiya ones. Far better quality. You'll soon see the difference between that and the mini art one, which I still think is an older kit. That was the very first one I done, and that was the very first one I actually was pretty impressed. That was my first ever figure ever painted. I done one before about 7 years ago on the Panther Tamiya, old Panther Tamiya, the two old figures, but they're terrible. But that was the first decent effort. Watching Night Shift and how he painted his figures did help. So that was the first one. Then I moved on to the second guy, Tamiya figure. They're supposed to be looking up at the skies. That's the whole thing with it, the Marder. And you're supposed to aim the gun that way. But it's an anti-tank, so I don't know why they look at the skies, but that came out a lot better. I've still got to put a bit silver on his buckles. The silver's dull down a bit. But he came out pretty good. They've done the face about 3 times. I just wasn't happy with his face. Then I moved on to the Frankenstein guy. This was a combination of another Tamiya kit. Tamiya head and a different... No, sorry. Tamiya body and a different head. So he's got the same pose as him. But that's a head from a different kit. And that came out pretty good. I managed to get the skin smooth using glazes and just taking my time. That's the key, is patience. That's what I think I was doing. Try to get the hair colours it's funny. But he came out. That head has been cut and filled with sprue glue. I'll try and zoom in because the light's terrible. There we go. Hopefully it will zoom in. It's not zooming in. I'm doing this still on my phone, so bear with me. There you go. There you go. So his neck is basically a mishmash of a file and sanders and all that to try and get as best I can, because I wanted a third guy. I wasn't brave enough to cut his arm and have his arm different. I think that would look too out there, but I'm pretty impressed how that came out with. But I'm going to have him, because I wanted him facing straight on rather than look up the sky. So I'm going to have him here facing. So that was number 3. This is where the fatigue started to sit in. These are the ICM kits. These are, I'll show you, I think I've showed you it before. Infantry, Geometry at rest. That is definitely an old kit. They're not the best. So the one I started with was this guy. I've painted his face about maybe 6 times. Camera's just not focusing on. There you go. I'll try my best again. But I got the skin tones pretty good again, using glazes of flesh. I've got 4 different colours of flesh and Iraqi sand and doing the red. So I got it nice and smooth. Got the silver done. I've just got his wee thing to put in here, like the straps. Got them done, as you can see there. Again, different tones to do the highlights. Done the buckles. I know the buckles won't be silver, but I think that makes them pop. Over exaggerated. This guy lying down doing nothing. Again, their faces are pretty. The moulding on it, it's a bit fluff. I thought it was a bad paint job there. It was not a bit fluff. The moulding's pretty bad on the faces, to be honest. But I think the whole set was only about £8, so I can't grumble. But on the diorama, I think they look good. They came out better than what I thought, especially the uniforms. You learn a lot doing things like that. This is the other one. This head I had to paint separately because of the handwheel getting away. He's upset. Oh, my tank's broken. What am I going to do? Oh, God. I'm going to get sent to the Russian front. No. Bit junky. Aye, so that was that one. I did have another, so that's the 6 people. Again, I'll spread them about here. I did have another one. Oh, sorry. No, I've done 7. What, him? He's just sitting there chilling out. Someone with his hands saying, gotta go home. So I've done 7 figures. I painted them in tank crew. They were meant to be German, but I've done them in tank crew and some in German. Some with the tank crew and some with the German grey to mix it up a bit. Is it accurate? No, but it's my dio. I'll do what I want. It's a fun project. The other thing I was going to do with this is try and make some fences, broken fences, tiny wee sticks sticking up going along here. I don't know if that'll be OTT. Somebody mentioned about trees. I'm not going to get that. I just want to get this over and done with. As I say, I've just got that to paint, decal that, more weathering on that, paint this, decal, keep this a wee bit dry brushing here and there, then put the guys in it, and that'll be done. That's the track for this, and hopefully this will be done within about a week and a half, fingers crossed. Then I'm going to move on to, if I move this to the side, and I will do this, I've still got the Hanomag sitting there. I've just not got enthusiasm to build that at the moment or finish it off. And I'm going to move on to the Hummel. Back out again. That's the maximum. That's how big it is. Move the camera. Aye. So I'm going. This will be my next project. This on a plaque with the 3 German crew with the shell. So that's going to be the next one. I'm going to leave the Jeep and the crew for a later date. Then after the Hummel, I might start the right field models Panzer IV, but we'll see how it goes. Or it could be the Dozer. I'm thinking the Dozer at the moment. I need to watch my time because this is now September and I haven't got any heating in the garage, and usually I shut down shop when it gets to the point where it gets cold, and that's when it reopens. So I've got to think wisely. I might start a small kit. I might do the Jeep that I've got, or hell-bent for leather, I might get that Edward Spitfire done. And so that's me, and that's what I've got left to do. Hopefully I've got to pick up something to do now. As I say, I want to do the Spitfire, get done. It was just the usual Edward P was just a nightmare. None super glue would stick it down. Then I broke it. I've lost the gears or the control stick. I've lost that, so I might have to scratch build something like that for that. But I might want to try and get that done, especially for the PP group build. I feel like I'm letting them down by not doing it. Maybe get my enthusiasm and or a good old kick up the rear to get some planes done. This is the back. The lovely cheap backdrop with the paint spot. This is what behind me. And as I say, I'm at the back of my garage. I have no heating, so again, I need to pick and choose what I do, because usually it gets to a point where if it gets cold, it's like a shop. I shut down for the season, and that's it. It reopens when it gets a bit warmer, and that's when I start playing my guitar and learning, because I want to start learning some new Iron Maiden tracks. If you're a Maiden fan or a rock fan, if you've not got the new Maiden album, why? Because it's absolutely brilliant. I'm 191. I would love to get to 200. That would be a major achievement to get to 191. Please, if you know anybody who's into modelling, please subscribe. If you know anybody out there, please subscribe. I only need 9 subscribers and I'm 200. That would be a major achievement. So, stay safe, stay fit. I'll see you in the next video, in the next update. Hopefully, I'll have more of that diorama done. I really need to get that in bed, done and dusted, move on. It's been lagging too long. Then I need to go through what builds I've done this year, and I will show you what builds I've done this year, laid out. And I think that's it, really. So, my motto, do something different, out your comfort zone, stay safe, and remember, don't be a dafty, get crafty. See you later, guys.